Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one. There's some more. Looks like Regis didn't hide it.
Listen, I'm just trying to explain.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it. I've taken a DNA sample from it. Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one. It's the DNA. I need to take
You still want to listen? I'm just trying to explain.
I'm going to need to find where he's...
You still want to listen? I'm just trying to explain.
I'm going to need to... I've taken a... I've taken a DNA sample from it. I've taken it. Looks like Regis did... Looks like Looks like... I've taken a DNA sample from it. I've taken a DNA sample from it. I've taken it. Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one. Looks like... Looks like... I've taken a DNA. I've taken a... I've taken a... Looks like... Looks like... Looks like... I've taken a DNA. I've taken a DNA sample from it. It won't let me take a sample from this one. I guess it needs to have grown a bit first. I've taken a DNA. Looks like Regis didn't. Looks like. Looks like. I've taken a DNA sample from it. I've taken.
You still want to listen? Check the we like to. On this kind of explain.
I'm going to need to. I've taken a DNA sample. It worked! Looks like Regis didn't. Looks like
According to this, he's been dead for anything left in the ordeal. On this case. Good luck.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
According to this, he's been dead for anything left in the ordeal. On this case. Good luck.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before. I've taken a DNA. I've taken a DNA. I've taken a DNA. Looks like... Looks like... Looks like... The growth matrix won't start in that. It's only compatible with the sampler tool. It won't take a DNA sample from the growth matrix. Maybe it needs a bigger specimen? It won't take maybe... Wetware's not going to...
According to this, he's been dead for 8 months in the Well, case. Baxter, good luck.
I'm going to need to find...
Dr. Lau, so good to see you again, my dear.
Huh? You should have made an appointment. Dr. Vargas, I'd like to ask...
Certainly, my dear.
What would you describe your... This is publicly available information.
Now, Galate, for the past 18 years, I've held the role. I ensure that Central, our city governance, CI, is functioning within parameters.
What would you say your political function within the city is?
None at all. The elected council formulates city policy. It is merely Central's role to execute this and ensure the day-to-day well-being of the city.
And it is Dr. Vargas's role to maintain Central's operations. Surely you're already aware of this, Dr. Lau.
Just wanted to get it from the source.
Sometimes our desire to remain outside the political spectrum has led to rumors. We are not, however, the secret puppet masters behind the government of Newton.
I shouldn't count you as my boss, then.
Dr. Lau.
Heavens no, my dear. If anything, we are equals on an administrative footing. Central acts as director for both of our operations, though.
How long have...
Since, 2066, he was a good man.
And now?
I have no doubt, though, since joining Cell, I feel that he
Do you know about his garden? On Tier 42 this...
Ah, yes. I've been there myself, though I hope we can keep that between us, Dr. Lau.
What did you think of it?
It is certainly an interesting way of coping with grief, though that it has lasted so long is perhaps...
What can you...
Currently not a great deal, hence why you have been. Dr. Baxter has been found murdered, and Dr. Regis was caught entering and leaving the facility by their security infrastructure.
How about a background to the case? A history?
Baxter has been responsible for the murder of Viksha Regis.
Charles Regis's wife.
He was caught and convicted, and until recently had been...
I'm aware of this, so...
He had recently been paroled with the Vickerman Corporation as his sponsor. I can only imagine Regis's feelings on...
Violent, no doubt.
I knew Charlie Regis, and justice is his motivator. But with his background...
You worry that this might have been his idea of justice?
Precisely. That, my dear, before Central jumps to any
You mentioned...
Ah, yes. Vicky. She was a student of mine in the 50s, in Buenos Aires. She spent several years working for the... When she had finished, she was the natural choice for the...
He never
They were very... It pains me greatly to...
She was a engineer as well?
Yes and no. A field perhaps more closely aligned to your own.
Though Regis has an obvious motive, can you think of anyone else?
I shall be honest. There were many who disliked him in his time, though none I knew could call him his enemy.
You mentioned a project.
I'm afraid that's classified.
Galatea, how can we help if we block every question? It was a project that utilized the expertise of both Viksha and Charles. Essentially, we were studying organic interfacing and large-scale computing.
Large scale, as in...
On this matter, I can answer no further.
What was your opinion?
As a scientist,
But as a human...
he did not take... This apparently is what led to...
And the murder that followed...
Precisely. I have not spoken to him personally. I'm afraid I couldn't enlighten you.
I examined Dr.
What did you find?
He's been decapitated. His head smashed in.
My goodness.
I've taken initial readings, but they're proving inconclusive, even time of death. The lab's environment is throwing the chromatographs. Once he's been moved to cell for autopsy, we should get a clearer picture of what... Dr. Vargas, in my office, why did you cut Central's feed?
That's classified, Dr. Lau.
I'm afraid I cannot give you but a number of factors regarding yesterday's network attack have raised, not least, the timing. It may be that Central's...
You believe it's linked to back...
What makes you say...
You cut the camera when talking to me about it. You were concerned that whoever may have compromised...
Well,
I learned from the best. It's a fantastic view from up here.
Isn't it? That's why I choose to...
The only part higher in Fulcrum Tower is Central's operating center.
You could probably see all the way to Mombasa on a clear day. I'm certainly aware of your role in the city, Dr. Vargas. But who is your lovely assistant?
Of course, this is my daughter, Galatea. She fills the role of my administrative support.
I'm being groomed for succession, apparently.
Oh, don't put it like that. That certainly is not what we wish to represent.
What was your field before going into politics?
I was a computer scientist and a lecturer at Buenos Aires. In the 60s, the government of Newton was looking for research administrators. It eventually transpired that this role in itself was a kind of test.
The city council was looking for suitable individuals to manage Newton's new CI.
Central?
Yes and no. It was what eventually became Central.
Dr. Vargas, have you heard of mind-jacking?
Excuse me?
I'm afraid I have not, Dr. Lau. What is it?
It's the case Regis and I were working on lately. A number of individuals had their brains flash-wiped by a destructive copying technique.
That sounds most appalling, Dr. Lau. Does it pertain to this case?
Not that I'm aware of, sir. It might give someone a reason to frame Regis, though. Especially if they thought that we were getting too close.
So, perhaps Regis is a victim of the attempted character assassination. To use Baxter as a means of doing so would be drastic.
Why don't you believe that Dr. Regis is responsible?
I cannot say for certain that he... I simply hold on to...
My investigation has brought up It appears that while he was at the lab, Regis took the time to alter some of the specimens there.
Really?
Even more so, he appears to have hidden a quaternary...
What does the data contain?
An audio-visual message, but it's still fragmented. I believe that Regis was trying to leave a message...
This is a... Please, continue your work. This may clear up.
While I was speaking to Dr. Chigwash, apparently both Charlie and Viksha Regis were involved in its creation.
Dr. Lau, that's classified.
I believe we can... Indeed, I brought Viksha on to... She recommended Charlie. They were not married at this stage.
This is unbelievable.
I suppose I can sympathize. It is an unhappy association, yet he will not allow himself the glorious reputation and history he deserves as one of those who created Central. And
Thank you, Dr. Vargas.
anything I can do to help.
I'm glad I had my fear of heights turned off. The growth matrix won't start in that.